Hello, 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 everybody. Hi, 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 hi. I'm back. I know last week we had the wonderful. I mean, wasn't that a nice treat? We had those wonderful gentlemen. They came on, but I still missed you guys. I know you may say, oh, no, she didn't. But yes, I did. I did. It felt so different not to be on screen because I'm almost Mondays, this is where I am from 12 to, I mean, from 1 to 2. This is, believe it or not, we will be at 2 years. 2 years, October. I can't believe it. But it's 2 years of it was, let me tell you the history so you know how this all started. I mean, we're going to get started. We do have a special guest that's going to be on too. It started, someone mentioned to me about starting a podcast. And I said, I'd never done anything like this before, and I didn't know how. Um, and so I started, it was called the Mary D. Welch Show. That's how it all started. And didn't have a tagline, didn't have a lot of things that are going on right now. None of that existed then. But I was willing to try. That's really how this all started. I was afraid, I was scared, but I still was willing to try. So long story short, I started there. We started the Mary D Show. So some of you guys may have gone online and joined as under the Mary D Show. Then it went on to, then the name changed to it was called the Mary D. Welch Show. Then I changed the name to the Mary D. Show. That's what it was. And about 3 months ago, it changed again, and it's called the Mary D. Talk Show, which I think this is it. So we've gone through these different changes, just life changes too, all the while, but definitely different changes. So just gave you a quick history. We are going to do some type of celebration in October. The goal is to do a book signing, which I haven't done. It'll be a virtual book signing. You'll be able to come on, pay for your book through Cash App, probably Cash App, I'm thinking, or Zelle or something like that, and then the book will be shipped to you. So that's coming in our celebration, our 2 year anniversary. I can't believe it. I still have a hard time believing that's been such a quick 2 years. But here we are 2 years later. So now I'm going to tell you, thank you to all of you replay viewers. Thank you to the live viewers. Thank you to the replay viewers. I'm so glad that you're here today. Next, I'd like to thank our sponsors for today's show. And the one sponsor is always here, and I really do appreciate those of you that know my husband, Oliver Welch. He is the executive producer for the show. Hi, babe. He's out there somewhere. He watches every single show. So he's watching in behind the scenes, and you guys very rarely does he come and stick his head in. That's rare. Sometimes he will, but that's kind of rare. Then I also would like to thank, these are sponsors that have been literally since the beginning, since the inception of the show. One is the Idea Club. The Idea Club has been by the side of the Mary D Talk Show since day one. And we want to definitely thank the Idea Club. The president of the Idea Club is Dumas Martin Jr., and he has been so supportive of everything the show has done and continue to do. So we definitely want to thank him. We like to also thank, for those of you that are, if you are a writer, you're interested in writing or publishing a book, anything like that, Front Page Publishing. Yay for all the creatives out there. Maybe you write plays, poetry, short stories, mysteries, romance. Doesn't matter what it is. Front Page Publishing is where you want to go. And we're going to talk more about that a little later on, and about who our oldest author is and the youngest author is and all that fun stuff. But as I go through, so you can, so I definitely want to thank those that have supported the Mary D Show. Next is First Book Academy. Very instrumental. If you're interested in learning how to write, you can go to First Book Academy. Let's say it's your memoir. I'm not kidding. Almost every single day I hear someone say, I need to write my memoir. And I get afraid for them, because if they're saying it, the chances are they're not doing it. And that means that they're not doing it, then it goes in the grave right along with them. All the ideas, all the recipes, everything goes right there with them. So that's not good. Let me just say that. So I would encourage you, as I say, you often hear me say this, and I don't know how else to say it, write it down. But it's more to it. That's the beginning, by the way. That's not the end all be all, but at least start there. At least write it down. I would tell anybody that. Next, of our list of our sponsors for the show is the Henderson Real Estate Team.info. The Henderson Real Estate Team.info. If you're buying, selling, you want to talk to the Henderson Real Estate Team. This is a power duo. They are just phenomenal. You need any help in the real estate industry, call the Henderson Real Estate Team. They can help you. They've definitely been a sponsor since the beginning too for a long time. So just know all of our sponsors have been there from, I mean, now with they, as they say, they've been rocking with us since day one for the most part. So, in the very last sponsor is actually Welch Travel Tours, and that's my husband's business. Welch Travel Tours has been there sponsoring us from day one also. So we're really excited. Oh, I'm sorry. And the other one was First Fridays Travel. First Fridays Travel and Welch Travel Tours are definitely there. So now, ladies and gentlemen, now that I tell you, you have to go, you have to thank people. You can't just go right in the show and don't thank them, because I appreciate them too much to not thank them. I really do. But I want to introduce to you our guest for today. It just so happens, though, this is how busy this gentleman is. He is, when I tell you busy, he's busy, busy. So let me read you his bio. His name is, I've been knowing him for a long time. His name is Gary Rafe. He is the Legal Shield Executive Director. He has been a Legal Shield Executive Director for 20 years. Mr. Rafe has personally sold over 7,000 memberships. Think about that. That's quite a few memberships. And he has accounts nationwide, personally in business with Legal Shield. Mr. Rafe is also a national fuel trainer with Legal Shield, where he trains the new associates in the personal and business legal plans. Mr. Rafe's expertise is in small business memberships, commercial driver, legal plans, and employee benefits, including identity theft, and the personal legal plan. Mr. Rafe also has extensive experience in working with municipalities and law enforcement and correctional officers, school districts and commercial drivers, transportation companies, and financial institutions. Mr. Rafe also has business partners throughout the United States and Canada, in which he trains and mentors. Mr. Rafe instills a philosophy to his team: when it's winter, think summer, and when it's summer, think winter. But the key is to be prepared at all times. You can reach Mr. Rafe at this following number, area code 909-331-2789. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Gary Rafe, and he is here. We have an audio, we don't have the visual, but he's here. Are you there, Gary?
Miss Mary, I'm here. Honored to be with you. Thank you for we've known each other well over 20 years, known you for a long time when the original First Friday. So thank you for having me. Great privilege and honor to speak with you, your husband, and also your vast audience.
Oh, thank you. We're honored to have you. I mean, a national, that means that you're, up in that echelon, Gary. I'm gonna tell you, right. It has been over 20 years, for sure. But you've done exceptionally well in that field. You found your niche. Is that correct?
Well, I believe so. I mean, it's the good thing about it. The key thing for us, Mary, and my team, and Legal Shield, we're able to help people. People will call me. I had a gentleman, commercial truck driver. Unfortunately, he had lost his job. But the attorneys are fighting for him to get his job back because he got too many violations, and therefore he was terminated. So we're working with him to try to get his job back. I have people to call me all the time with issues. I know a lot of things now with the pandemic, financial issues with the pandemic, taking care of an elderly parents is an issue, identity theft, and having the person to call and talk with to make it affordable, simple, and easy. That's what our Legal Shield and ID Shield app does for our members. And we right now we're servicing, covering 5.5 million lives in the United States and Canada, and that number is growing. So we're happy with our product. Legal Shield's been around 50 years. We just celebrated our 50th anniversary, and it's again, and you're looking at a multi-billion-dollar company in regards to Legal Shield and its assets. And it's a now product because so many things are happening now, so much change. We have a gun owners program, concealed carry. We have programs for small businesses, very foremost in identity theft, legal issues. The society is getting more and more complex. We're working with commercial drivers and that. So we're here to help the individual. If an individual also needs, I know things, more people are working from home now and looking for a plan B. Our financial and business opportunity will afford a person the plan B that they may need for their financial future due to our residual income, our now and our residual income.
All right. All right. We have Gwen is saying, hi, Mary and Gary. Hi, Gwen. How are you?
Hello, Miss
So,
Gwen.
I tell you, I'll be honest. Very rarely does Gwen ever miss a show. Ever. If Gwen missed a show, I know something wrong. So thank you, Gwen. And we have a Facebook user that said, hello, Mary. I don't know who the user is, though. I don't know if you want to put your name, Facebook, because I don't know how, that kind of, but who knows? But thank you for watching. We do appreciate each and every one of you. But, I learned not too long ago, I was looking at our show because I've learned since I've been on the show, you don't really know who's watching the show because you only see the numbers if they comment. Isn't that something? So I never know. I never really know until at the end, then I can
Wow.
see. So, but one thing we know, it's going to be on YouTube. That means
Mary, I also want to mention too for your audience.
Yes.
Oh, can you hear me? Oh, yeah. Also want to mention, Mary, also for the people out there, parents, teenage drivers, and that. And I know that our community has to talk with their teenagers. We have on our legal plan a app where we have 24/7 access with our plan. So if your teenager or someone's out there, they're racially profiled, they're in an accident after hours, CPS comes to your home, or you're feeling threatened, if you have an emergency, we have attorneys on call 24/7, 365 days a year. We're the only program out there that has something like that. So if a person has an emergency, if it's Christmas Day, New Year's Day, if it's the 4th of July, whatever the holiday is or whatever time it is, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, we have attorneys on call 24/7 if there's an emergency. And that's a very powerful aspect of our program because good things can happen to bad people. And also I stress too, with parents out there that have kids away at college, what do you have in place to help them when you're not around? See, our membership could be very powerful for your teenager out there, or for your college student. And the other aspect that I'm seeing when I'm enrolling new members now is having up-to-date estate planning, the medical and durable power of attorney, the advanced directives. Very important because I ask people, you're working hard, you're busting your hump every day going to work and having the assets and benefits. And when you are ready to retire and that, would you rather the state to get what you worked hard for, or your family? If your answer is your family, then we have up-to-date estate planning packets and information to give with our membership. And our durable power of attorney, our living wills, that's free with our Legal Shield membership, which is about $1 a day. And Mary, I also, before I forget, wanted to give my website, which is rbenterprises.wearelegalshield.com. And I'll repeat that again, RB Enterprises, all lowercase, .wearelegalshield.com. And you should see my name there, Gary Rafe, Rafe. And that gives you a whole list of all of our products. So small business, individual, family. And I like to say that we're a problem-solving membership. We solve problems. That's why we are so big in the marketplace and why we're enrolling 30 to 40,000 new members each month. And again, one of the most powerful memberships in North America. We're all in the United States and Canada.
Okay, Gary, I was going to put your emails, RB Enterprises.
Yeah, this is my website, rbenterprises.wearelegalshield.com. That's the website. If a person wants a membership, they want to get into our program and things, they would go there. They could enroll in that program. My email address, it's rbenterprises at legalshieldassociate.com. If someone wants to email me, rbenterprises at legalshieldassociate.com. The website, rbenterprises dot we are legal shield.
I know. I don't know if you can see me on the screen or not. I just put the website up, so anyone that's interested, you can
Yeah,
contact.
yeah, I see it. Yeah, I'm seeing that. Yeah, I'm seeing that. Or www. Yeah, I don't know if it, with new things, if you need the www, you may not. But yeah, rbenterprises dot wearelegalshield.com. That is my website. Correct.
Okay, so
That's the
ladies,
website. So if a person wants a membership, they need something, they can go there. Just make sure you see my name. If you don't, just give me a call. I can walk you through it. You've given my phone number and that, but that will get you enrolled. Yes, RB Enterprises. If you need the WW, fine. RB Enterprises dot wearelegalshield.com. Absolutely, that's the website.
okay. Well, I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this if you need any type of legal assistance and service, you want to contact Gary. I can. I've known this man has been consistent. When I say consistent, I mean, like you said, over 20 years. And there's no way you would be in a company. If anything, the company it has to grow. Is growing because people are getting more and more litigious. They will. I mean, they're saying people are filing lawsuits for what they call frivolous lawsuits. I think they're called. That there's no merit to them, but you still have to support. Is that correct,
Yeah,
Gary?
every 6 seconds a frivolous law. Yeah, every 6 seconds, Mary, a frivolous lawsuit is filed in the United States. So, and the
Wow.
United States per capita have more attorneys than any other country in the world. So, yes, there's a lot of frivolous lawsuits. Absolutely.
But I've heard some people say that lawsuits that they should have won, they lost and had to pay. They had all the paperwork, everything, and they still had to pay. They were I guess the defendant, and they had to pay him. And that's one thing attorneys will tell you. When you go to court, you don't know if you're gonna win it. There's no way to know. There's no way to know if you're gonna win or lose. It doesn't matter if you have everything in your favor. I
Right.
actually had an attorney tell me that. He said, you can have everything going for you and still lose. That I don't know how that happens, but that's what he told me. He said it doesn't mean you're gonna win because it looks like you should win, basically, but that doesn't mean you're gonna win.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's true.
Answer, yeah.
Because you're dealing with the law.
Right.
That's
exactly.
why. Yeah, it's a legal aspect. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, it seems like.
And I will say too, Mary.
Mhm.
Oh, I will say quickly, with all the changes now in California and regulations and things are constantly changing. The laws change constantly. Our small business plans are good for a person that has a home-based business, or if we have Uber drivers, if you're driving Uber and doing those things. But our small business plans, two of those can be used interstate. So if I have different things interstate, out of state, in California, in another state, I can use my plans for that as out of state matters in consultation. So we're going to cover you because our key is we bill you by the month, not by the hour. And people have questions. They don't have to rob their piggy bank to talk to our attorneys because they have unlimited consultation on they have the unlimited consultation on a full range of issues, personal or business.
Wow, that's impressive.
And that costs them nothing. Yes, so
Wow.
if I have 100 questions a week, I can call and ask, and you can talk with the attorney and you not get a bill for that. We rather bill you by the week than by the month rather than that by the hour.
Well, isn't it different plans you can get though, Gary? Aren't there different plans?
Yes, you can get, depending on if you're an individual, we have an individual plan. If you're a family, we have a family plan. Business, the same thing, home-based business. It just depends. I ask people to let me know what their problems are, and that way I can solve the problem they're having in that regards. Family, some people like the family program and the small business. Some people want to get the gun owners. It just depends what the needs are. But we can cover them. The good thing, the program, our family plan is about $1 a day, but that gives him access and coverage in all 50 states. We have attorneys in all 50 states.
That's good. Um,
and you're dealing with nothing but attorneys, no paralegals. Our program, our law firm in California, Parker Stansbury, we're paying them about $2 million a month to represent the Legal Shield client. So you are a VIP member. They're going to get, but they're expecting and waiting for your calls. And this is the only insurance, Mary, that we encourage people to use. Now, we don't want you to use your fire insurance, your car insurance, God forbid your life insurance, but we encourage you to use this insurance when you have a question. Uh, Proactive, being preventative,
mhm.
and it's also good people can use attorneys too. It doesn't have to be that you've done something bad. You may have a question because a lot of the smart people will use it in regards to being proactive. The smart business people, the people who are making money, the people who are making it happen out there are very proactive, and therefore they like being proactive and preventative.
Okay. Well, I can tell too. We want to say hi. We have a few of our guests that are here today, and they are Janie. Hi, Janie. Good. I'm glad to see you. And then we have Fayette. She says, "Hi, Mary and Gary. Good stuff, Gary." She's saying the things you're sharing with everybody. Then and someone, I think that's Janie that said that. Wow, that's huge. That's what she said. And this is Richard, and he says, "Hello, Mary." And then Richard also says, "Hello, Gary." So thank you all. Anybody, if you leave a comment, you don't have to worry. Your name is going to get called. So
Yeah,
that is for sure.
Mary. Yeah,
Yes.
may may I also add? I know you said time is that. So
No.
let me just say this: about 80% of people in the United States have don't have up to date estate planning. So we're helping with that because with the pandemic and that and things are rising again, there are a lot of people out there who are not don't have up to date estate planning, and believe me, that can cost families turmoil and cost them money. So that's part of prevention in regards to, hey, I need to get that done. We could be a conduit of that. If you're thinking about it, business succession, personal, family, we do those things to protect families and protect business in regards to the estate planning because 80% of the people out there, especially a lot of people I work with in law enforcement and professionals, have no up-to-date estate planning.
Wow. Law enforcement? Are you
Yes,
kidding?
law
Wow.
enforcement too. Just to let you know, the majority of law enforcement that's killed in the line of duty, a lot of them don't have up-to-date estate planning.
That's amazing.
So just to let you know that, yeah, and that's what a captain told me.
But you know, a lot of it, I think, I'm just going to say personally, I think it's just, I always say everybody's going to live forever, so they don't need that. That's my,
Right,
well, we know that's not true, but I say that because that's how we act as though we are going to live forever. And so we don't plan, that kind of thing. But
right.
I've talked about it on the show numerous times about how important it is. But I think people have a misconception on they think if they have a will, that's all they need. And they kind of leave it at that. But
Well, Mary, with the complexity of society and things now, for some people that will suffice. However, some people may need more than that depending on the assets. If your assets are north of 5 million, you and your family, you and a spouse, you might want to think about a living trust. We do living trust at a discount. If it just depends on what your needs are and what you want done. Well, we supply the living will, the durable power of attorney, advanced directives, and that all that is free with the legal membership. I don't know if folks remember the case about 20 years ago. I think it was the young lady in Texas where they had a tremendous fight over what they wanted to do to pull her off life support and not. And the family had a large fight over that because there was nothing written down. I think they eventually did take her off life support. She passed away. I think Mary was her name at that. I want to say, but Mary. But again, the issue is nothing was in place, and
right,
therefore they had a long family fight. I
right,
will also say with Prince, he didn't have anything in place. The state of Minnesota got most of that money. Aretha Franklin didn't have anything in place. And then again, the family will get what's left. So you want to. It's very important to make sure those documents are done.
yeah,
So again, if you work hard in that, you don't want the state getting your assets. You want the family to get to have what you've worked hard for, and that's
and
called generational wealth. we and that. So something that I know we're working on, but generational wealth is something that we can help with.
I think that it's one of those things people don't like to discuss, but somewhere along the line, I think honestly, it should be taught in school, and it isn't. We don't talk about. You think about. We don't talk about funerals, so people may not even know until they actually have to deal with it. What the cost of a funeral is, what the cost of, let's say, a wedding, even, because we don't talk about that kind of thing in school, so we don't even have an idea. I remember when funerals used to cost about $2,000. Now that's what it costs for a cremation. So a funeral, actual funeral, is now, I think, about average between 5 and 10,000 or something like that. But those $2,000 funerals don't exist anymore. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. I'm sure
Nope.
they do it, but I'm saying is that if you what you think things cost and what they actually cost are two different things. They're just two different things.
Right.
In the
And
world.
and here's the thing about it. With our program, you can call and talk with an expert, and it doesn't cost you anything. See, that's the
Wow.
beauty of it. I don't have to check my wallet to check my rights. I can call and ask my question, and there's no fee for that. And
Wow.
as I said, you have unlimited. You have consultation on a unlimited number of issues.
Wow. Well, I tell you, Richard Nichols has a comment. He says, Mary, ask Gary, what is the difference between estate planning, probate, and a will? That's what he wants to know. What is the difference between estate
What's that?
planning? We have a comment from Richard Nichols. He said, what is the difference between estate planning, probate, and a will?
The easiest thing I could say, that's a very good question for the attorney. But what I try to do, and what I've been taught when the attorney class, we had a will workshop, is that things will go in. If you have a will, and that will go into probate, so they can sort all the assets. But again, if your assets are north of 5 million, you might want to think about a living trust. If you have the will and things that may work, that may suffice. But that's also, if you want to get more technical about it, that's a very good question for your attorney, and you can talk about that as to what your needs are. What the will, you will go into probate so they can sort everything out, is my understanding of it. In that regards, you'll go to probate. Hey, you're getting this, a division, so they'll have the paperwork and that. But it's good to have something in place, because if not, the state's going to get most of those assets.
And that's a fact. So I don't know if you
Yes.
Rich. So really, the estate planning, those that when you go, usually you have to go to an attorney for estate planning. So in the estate planning,
Yeah.
it'll include a will. It'll also include a medical
Yes.
directive. It'll also include a power of attorney. All that's in estate planning. You don't get
Yeah.
that when you just have a
Yeah. That
loan. Mm-mm. So,
See, with our program, Mary, we do the durable power of attorney, we do the advanced directives, we do the financial power of attorney, healthcare power of attorney. So if a person can't speak for themselves, they will designate someone to speak for themselves. That's all part of our program with our estate planning, and that's something that is free. That's about a $2,000 value. Are going anywhere up to $1,000 each, depending on what's what. So, but we do all that for free with the membership, so we're able to save people money. The other aspect of our program too, I also wanted to not forget, is we have a member perks program, and that member perks program saves people money on hotels and that hotels and things.
oh,
That member perks program saves people on hotels
uh-huh.
and also travel, restaurants, sporting events. So we were able to save people money in regards to that aspect of it.
Okay. I know. And Richard
So that's so
Nichols.
it's almost like the membership is free with the member perks program. I know the rental cars and hotels, Disneyland, and all that. We've saved people a lot of money.
Okay. Okay. Richard Nichols says he is doing now. I think he means the legal shield. Is that what it is, Richard? I'm not for sure, but he is. He said he has sold over 7,000 legal shields to people. Think about that number. That number is just astounding to me, Gary. 7,000. Wow.
Well,
Oh,
I guess I've been in it a while. So hey, we our top person's done 50,000. So I've got a ways to go to catch him, but our top person's done about 50,000.
we have Gwen is asking, is there a flat membership fee, or is it based on your
Is there
individual?
what?
What is the membership fee, like the entry level fee?
Well, the membership fee for our legal plan is going to be right. It's going to be right around about $1 a day, $29.95 for a family, and that's the spouse, the member, and up to 10 kids. So again, in that regards, if they're all, and that's up to age 26. So they have kids away at college and grade school, and that so the family's going to be covered. That's called our family plan, and that covers kids away at college, here in school, and that, but in high school and grade school. So that's about $1 a day. You can have nationwide coverage for you to protect your family, and that includes the 24/7 coverage. Everything, all of our plans are cost effective, and the business plans can be a tax write off. So,
Is
and then the identity theft, it's also about $1 or so a day. I will say that we do the Trend Micro, all the major features with Trend Micro, with password management, managing the dark web, home title. We do all of those things too with our identity theft. U.S. News and World Report and Forbes had us ranked #1 in the nation for for our identity theft program with full restoration. And we also, if there's an emergency, we also have 24/7 coverage there with our ID shield. Every 2 seconds, someone's a victim of identity theft. Equifax, with the major healthcare companies, T-Mobile has been breached. The veterans have been breached. So every day you hear about someone being breached, and that can affect your livelihood. What's on your credit score? And another thing, key thing, Mary, too. We work with an individual's digital DNA. Not just, some people just think it's your credit card or credit, and it's not. It's your full digital DNA in regards to our ID shield. So your medical, your financial, your legal, your character, criminal, your reputation, your child's reputation, and so we cover all of that. Passports and the things. So we're going to cover that. Social media, we do all of that in regards to our ID shield. We have a checklist as to what we cover. Dark web, where information is sold, your personal information is sold. Driver's license. And I would ask families out there with young kids, 5, 6 years old, when's the last time you checked their credit report or their credit score? And people may laugh at that but the fastest growing victims of identity theft now are kids under 18, where people will do that, and sometimes family members will use the child's social security number. So we can run checks and monitors on that as well, because again, that's something that is happening, and that's a big issue. Child gets 18, they have the credits bad because someone's abused it. Also, if I'm concerned about who's in my neighborhood, with our ID Shield program, when we're doing that, you can punch in the zip code, and that can give you the list of people who have been on Megan's list, and that. So we can give you who's in your neighborhood, and as well as that, a list of the sex offenders that are in the area. If you're concerned about that, if I'm moving somewhere new, if I'm concerned about something of that nature, it can let you know who's in the area and what you need to watch out for. Our ID Shield is that powerful and that proactive.
So there's different levels to, am I correct? You're saying there's an entry,
Different levels. It depends on what you want to monitor. You have a full slate. It's like going to the buffet. Hey, I want the ribs. I want the chicken. Yeah. So
if this is just a regular, let's say I'm gonna use me and Oliver as example. So it's just the two of us, and we would like to get. So the identity comes with the membership, in addition to the membership.
Some people, Mary, will get both. They get the legal and the ID shield. Our new thing now, we do financial and credit counseling with a person in regards to how to improve their credit, how to improve their credit scores with our experts. Some people just do the ID shield, okay, if they just want that. Some people will do both. It just depends on what the needs are. But the probably most powerful of our membership is the legal and the ID shield combined. So if I'm stopped out there, someone, let's say, has gotten my driver's license and put something on, and I'm stopped, when I use my legal plan, I have 24/7 access to my attorney if something like that happens. So again, it's you have a list of what you want to check for
Mhm.
our ID shield to monitor and let you know the full time alerts and all that as to what we do.
Okay. So really, it has.
And
I,
one thing too, Mary. Oh, I'm
mhm.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say. So you really can design your own, is what you're saying. You can design what works for
Yeah,
you.
we also see. Yes, you design what works for you. And remember, if you have a family, we can do it. We can do it on devices too, your laptop, your cell phone, and the computer and that. So we can also protect those devices as well, because we have the Trin Micro
Oh, you cut out just a second, Gary. We lost you.
protects the proxy one protects from that. So just like what the U.S. Senate uses this Trin Micro, we use the same thing. Everything's up to date.
Okay. Well, we have Richard Nichols says he is explaining the difference now. That's what he said on there, that you were explaining the difference on for probate versus. Let me just say this. I'm going to throw this little caveat in here to the audience. You want to avoid probate like the plague. Let me tell you that from someone who has unfortunately dealt with it. Probate is not fun, people.
Yes.
It's not. It is a nightmare. And when you don't, in my opinion, when you don't do the things that you can do to avoid it for your family, this is what I say personally. I think you're saying you don't like your family. That's what, that's what I say about it.
Well,
Because they have to go
yeah.
and I'm gonna tell you, people end up not speaking behind this because now they're
Right.
fighting for that. People have fought over teacups. Grandma said that was my teacup.
Right.
That was her teacup. I'm amazed. I am amazed as an adult how this has, it's like I said, I've experienced it. So I'm a witness to this. I'm not just speaking, unfortunately. I wish I was just speaking about it, but I'm speaking from unfortunately experience. So I would tell you this, whatever you need to do, and let me just say this, and I'm sure Gary would agree, a will is not enough. A will is the best way I can say it. A will is not enough. It is not. It is not. I mean, I can't stress
Yeah,
that to you enough.
it's a starting point, not an ending point,
All it
Mary. If
is.
the person has nothing, they can start there. But as I
Mhm.
said, you want to look into the living trust and all that, depending on your assets and all that. But absolutely, but start somewhere. If you have nothing, start with the will or something and that, and go and move forward from that.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely correct. But if people out there that have nothing, you've been thinking about it, we're a very cost effective way to protect your family,
I can.
because again, with the Legal Shield membership, you get the estate planning that's included with your membership.
Okay. What I'm
And
gonna
you can do it online or you can send it in. Everything our program is app based. We have an app for the illegal, we have an app for the ID Shield.
wow. Well, I did the math and I came. You tell me if I'm in the ballpark. At 125 a day, I came out to $37.50 monthly. Now I don't know if that's a ballpark figure. I did it based on 125 times 30 days. Is that about in the
Well,
arena?
our Legal Shield, our Legal Shield membership, Mary, it's 29.95 a month for the legal.
Okay.
So that's the legal. So that would be a time 12, whatever that would be. But again, it works out to about $1 a day in that
Okay.
regards. If you're adding the ID Shield with that, it's about $1.50 a day. So very cost effective, because you can pay that. What you pay an attorney an hour, you would pay a year for the Legal Shield program. So would you rather pay for a full year and that, or would you just rather pay with us where you have a full year, or would you rather pay an hour, the 300 an hour or the 300 a year? So what's more cost
I totally get it. Well, I'm listening to you, and I know that as our audience is listening too, because I don't know who we're talking to here, but there's someone who's been thinking about doing these things, and the cost. If you go to, I mean, nothing against any attorneys, I won't say anything negative, but I will tell you it costs. That's the best way I can say it. It's not, I don't care. Whenever I've had to deal with attorneys, very rarely is it under, they're gonna say $1,000 for anything. It's usually now 3, 4, 5. They throw 5,000 out like they're saying 50 cents. So it's like, all I would tell you is, ladies, gentlemen, if you need any of these services, like Gary, and I have to agree with Gary saying, it is very cost effective. I don't want to sound like I'm telling you to do it, but as I would say, this is what I tell people. I always say this, and you hear me say this all the time: do something. Don't sit there and do nothing. And I see Elaine. Elaine has a comment. She said, Gary and you, Mary, are making excellent points that we all need. Thank you, Elaine. And I saw you on the WAG meeting. Hi, Elaine. So, but I really want to stress this. Ladies, gentlemen, do something and don't put it off anymore. Don't say, I'm going to do it next week. Don't say that. I have unfortunately been a witness to this. And as I get older, it's happening more and more, obviously. But someone will tell me they're going to do something. Next thing you know, I get a call. They done passed away. This is happening in their sleep. You're not going to believe so-and-so passed away in their sleep. And I just talked to this person maybe a week ago. This is true stories. So this is not something I'm making up. And I can guarantee you that person had every desire to be here, to keep living, but they were called home. I was in a meeting earlier today, Elaine, we were in the same meeting, and we heard a gentleman I don't know the details, but I do know the gentleman, he had passed away. And as far as I'm concerned, way too young. But we think we're going to last, this week we have time. Who doesn't think they have time? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here as a witness to all of you. Nobody has time. Take care of your business. Don't have your families out here fighting and losing money because they couldn't get along because you didn't tell them what your wishes were. That's a fact. You got to write it down.
Well, I'll quote John. I'll quote John Wooden. If you're failing to plan, then you're planning to fail.
Yeah, that's what he said. That is what he said. But do you have any final words today, Gary?
Mary, it's been an honor. Now, if anyone from your program is getting a membership, calls me, goes to the website, mention your name, we have a special gift for them too. So we're going to be at a gift card or something nice for them since being on your show. So if people are calling to get enrolled in our membership, again, you can go to the website, you can call me, walk you through it. Takes us about 5 minutes. If you're looking for a plan B, you're not making enough money, you're stressed out, you want to make something extra, we're helping a lot of people make an additional income. So I'm just saying things will continue to change. And I'll say this, we were on a mastermind call yesterday for your audience, Mary, and all that. Broke people talk about money. The rich talk about their possessions and toys. Wealthy people talk about ideas. So again, ideas.
Yeah. Yep.
That's Legal Shield. It's an honor to speak with you, Mary. And if anyone has any questions, they have the number, they have the website, they have the email list. Anyone enrolling through your program, we're going to give them a special gift card, and that in regards to their membership and generosity. Really do appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Gary, and I'm sure you'll be back again. All righty. Ladies, gentlemen, that was Gary Rafe, and he was here to share with you about Legal Shield, because this is something I don't think we can talk about enough. I really, really don't. I think we just don't want to talk about it. Because nobody's going to die, right? No, nobody, right? That's just the facts, right? The point is, we avoid the subject as if it is not going to happen. And unfortunately, and I'm going to tell you what my father used to tell me. Nobody is getting out of here alive. Nobody. You're welcome, Gwen. Gwen. You're welcome. And I say that because we act like we are. We act like it. And I'll be honest, I've been guilty of it too, but I'm getting better at it as I get older, more organized and getting affairs in order. This is real. This is the reality of this life. We were blessed to be here, and although we don't admit it, probably blessed to leave. It's just that, it's not something we talk about or want to talk about any given time. And I do want to thank Gary for coming on the show. I do appreciate him. He is definitely very knowledgeable. For those of you, you see, I left the website up for you because I would like for you, if you are interested in any way, at least talk it over with him and find out if there's anything he has that can help you. Definitely take advantage of it. I want to take some time today before the show ends today because I wanted to really show some of you, and some of you may know, some of you may not know. My husband and I, we're the owners of Front Page Publishing. Some of you may have already known that. I don't know, but I wanted to make sure I shared this with you. We were honored to publish this book. This is the oldest author that's published with us. Her name is Dr. Mildred Dalton Henry. Mildred Dalton Hampton Henry. Sorry about that. And I'm saying that she's almost 90 years old. She's 89. This was a book that our company published for her. And we're really, really proud of this. But think about this, ladies and gentlemen. She was writing this book for 15 years. 15 years. When we started working with her, the book it's on Amazon. Went to within 6 months, we had her book available and ready and on Amazon available for sale. You can go right now to Amazon and purchase her book, From the Ashes I Rise. And this is Dare to Do the Impossible, by Dr. Milton Dalton Hampton Henry. For those of you that are interested in her story, what I love about her book, and let me show you something. These are some of the things I love. Is that one, we were able to get her color pictures in. There's some black and white, but we were able to get her color pictures in. And this is really, in my opinion, for her family, it's a legacy. That's why I really like her book. And these are some of the color pictures we put in for her book. In addition to that, this lady is I have so much respect for her. In the back of the book, we even list, think about this, her awards, certificates, acknowledgments, all of this for her family. Think about this. This is going to be for generations. I just think this is just such a gift. It is such a gift. But I would tell you, she will not leave this earth. This is what I tell people. Your books outlive you. But if you never write it down, how will we know? Had she not finished this book, thank God she lived long enough to finish this book. And I say that because that was her concern. She was worried that she would pass away and the book would have been lost. Many of you, if you have poems and you want to put it in a book, go to Front Page Publishing and talk to us. We can make it happen for you. Many of you are familiar with this book. This is my book. Look, I'm going to tell you, my book, Dr. Henry's book. But I say that because this is the first book I published for adults. It's called Saying No Nicely. This book is, I'm gonna be honest with you. This book is, 41 pages. That's what this book is. Dr. Henry's book, I'll tell you the difference in our books. Hers is 300, I think, or 326 pages. 327, that's what her book is. 327 pages, Dr. Henry's book. My book, 41 pages, but it's a book. Some of you, maybe your story is only, let's say 20, you can write 5 pages. I don't know what the page number is insignificant. The story is what's significant. What is it that you want to leave? No matter what, whenever I leave this earth, guess what? This stays here. This will be here for generations, for my children, grandchildren, to know I wrote this information down. How do you say no? Saying no nicely. If you go on Amazon and you see this book now, I think it had, last time I looked, about 18 5-stars or something like that. Think about 5 stars. I used what I already knew. Think about, I didn't make any of this up. This was already in me. I had experienced it, lived it, and I put it in a book. That's really it. I didn't have to make it up. Some of you have recipes. I mean, recipes been passed down for generations and they're not written down. Why not? Ladies, gentlemen, I can't stress to you enough how important this is. And I'm saying it because I'm watching our generation get lost. And I think it would help if they had something written down. Now, many of you know, I'm going to show you my, well, before I get into this book, I will show you the children's book, because you can see the one behind me, which is the newest one, Peyton, the pink whale with the yellow tail. I want to make sure you guys can see that one, because that's the newest one. And let me show you, I'll show you Peyton. This is Peyton, the pink whale with the yellow tail. This is the newest book that's out now. But this book is based on a lot of things. My grandkids said it's based, unfortunately, that it's based on black and white people. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't think that when I wrote it, but that's what the grandkids tell me. It's real colorful, but let me tell you, look at the blue whales are rejecting Peyton. The blue whales don't like Peyton because Peyton is pink, and Peyton doesn't even know he's pink. Think about that. Peyton is a whale. He said, I swim like you do. I eat the same food. I swim like you. I mean, what more can you say? How do you say, because I'm pink, you don't want to play with me? Peyton wants friends. And he's looking for friends with the blue whales. That's his goal. But they go, he says, I eat the same food. I swim the same way. I breathe like you do. What more can I say? Think about that. He said, I do everything you do. So why won't you guys be my friends? Ladies, gentlemen, this is according to my grandkids. That's what they felt like. This book, even though I try to tell them, no, that's not why I wrote the book. They're like, yes, it is, Nana. So, but I don't want to give away the story. But I will tell you this: it has a very good ending. I don't want you thinking it's all negative, because it isn't. In the end, well, you have to get the book, and I can tell you how it ends. But I will tell you, it does end really well. And Peyton is our oldest son's name. There's another book. Oh, I don't want to move. I'll get it for you, but I was going to show you the cover to the new book that'll be out before Black Friday, or it's coming out. I think it's 1st of November, and that's a new book, and it's named after another one of our sons, is Justin, and it's Justin Lost a Tooth. That book will be out. But I'm saying this, and this is another one of our authors. In fact, she's here. I saw Fayette. I don't know if you're still here, Fayette, but this is Fayette's book. Why is Little Faith So Happy? Another wonderful author. Her book is doing extremely well on Amazon. I'm so proud of her. And those of you that think, oh, they can do that, but I can't do this, I promise you, you can. And the third one, as many as I've shown you, I'll share with you too. This is one of our sons' book. Justin is My Cat is a Spy. Now, in addition to those, this is one, I don't talk about this often. This is a journal. Now, you may say, why do you need a journal? Why do I need a journal? And all these things. Journals are very therapeutic. It is, when I write and write things down, it's really, in my opinion, it's believing in what I'm writing. So I'm not saying you have to get this journal. It's called the Big Black Journal. And what this is, it just has pages so you can write your thoughts. Some people have told me they've used this as a recipe book for the family. They passed it on to family members, and they wrote their favorite recipe down. It's in the book. And so the goal is to have it printed. That's what they've used it for. I've had all kinds of reasons people use the book. And I have another one. I have quite a few, by the way, but these are two I just wanted to share with you. And this is the Big Black Journal for Sisters. And the same thing, you can write in it. There is a journal I'm coming out with before the end of the year. And that'll be, for those of you interested in journal writing, I definitely would, or writing a journal, I will discuss it. I'll talk to you about it before the year is out, to make sure that you're aware of it. If you're interested in it, it'll be available. But I did want to make sure I made the offer to those of you. You may say, well, about the anthology project. The authors are coming in. Many, let me share with you what that means. Then the anthology project, we just go to frontpagepublishing.com and click anthology. There's a video there. Everything's right there. The day, what you want to do with the anthology project. Let's say you wrote a short story and you put it away. You haven't seen it in years. Don't even remember. Hope you know where it is. But if you don't know where it is, you probably remember the story. What the anthology project will give you an opportunity to do, you submit it, and now the fee that you pay to submit into this project, it includes your editing, which is big. It's huge. So let's say you wrote it, but you really weren't sure on your where to put your comma, or where to put your exclamation, and all of those things. That's all going to be done for you. You don't have to do any of that. There are editors on standby that work for Front Page Publishing. They're going to do that for you. So the fee that you pay, that's all covered in there. The deadline to submit is the first. I'm sorry, the deadline to pay is the first. It's September 1st to hold your spot in the book. That means you are guaranteed to be in that anthology. The work has to be edited first. It cannot be anything that's erotic or no. I won't say profanity is debatable. It depends, because those of you that write poetry, you may have profanity in poetry. Poetry has its own. There are no rules. Let me say that there are no rules in poetry. There just aren't. So that's one of those areas that you have full and total complete control over your project. But now if it's a short story and maybe the story isn't flowing, then that's where the editor is going to come in and make sure your story makes sense. That's why you need editors. Anybody that writes knows you need an editor. If you are any type of writer, I have editors. People edit my work all the time. And it's probably the best thing I've ever come to terms with. They'll tell you never edit your own work, because you read right through your errors. So you don't want to do that. And I'm sharing this with you. This one is coming out on paperback soon. This is only digital right now. I think it has like 25 5 stars. #1 children's book on Amazon for 2 weeks. #1 was There's a Rocket in My Pocket. Elaine, no. Elaine said, remember, no one knows the hour or the time. God only knows. Tell the truth, Elaine. So I'm saying this, write it down. Now, I'm not trying to say you have to even work with our publishing company, but work with somebody. Get it done. Write your story down, or stories. I'm saying that. And this is the other one. This came out last year. Have you seen a Red Elephant? And someone asked me one day, what is your favorite book? And the one thing I would say, and I tell people this is true. That's like asking somebody who's my favorite child. They're all my favorites. Now I would tell you who's my husband's favorite book. I will tell you what his favorite, and his favorite book is this one. He loves this story. Oh my God, Oliver loves. I would say, "Where's the pink whale? Where's the pink whale?" So this is his favorite one, Peyton the Pink Whale with the Yellow Tail. Favorite book. I love them all. I don't have a favorite. I'm gonna be, and I've mentioned this. I think I've said this before. This is why I don't have them all. They're all God given. They're all God given, ladies and gentlemen. Every single thing I write, I know there's no doubt in my mind they come from God. I've Googled them. I've gone on Amazon. There's not another book with the titles. Not one. Think about this. Not one of the books I've written has the same title as any other book. This is one, and many of you have heard me talk about just what Gary was talking about. And it's called Save Your Home from Probate. And I hesitate because this will, if you have a home, and this works best if you're the only one on title. Let me say that. You can get this book right there on Amazon. I have down to 2. You can get this book right there on Amazon. There's a California edition for the California. If you live in California, get the California edition. And you fill out the paperwork and submit it to your county. And now your home does not go to probate. I know you may. So this is without an attorney, by the way. You can do. That's just the facts. You don't need an attorney to fill this paperwork out. Everything it takes you step by step. You can get the book right there on Amazon. It'll be at your house tomorrow. Those of you that have Prime. But anyway, it can be at your house tomorrow. So I'm saying this to those of you. If you're the only one on title, even if you're not the only one on title, make sure if you're on title that because I'll use me and my husband, we travel together a lot. So we have to have things in order, because if anything happens to both of us and we both travel, our family has to figure it out. And we don't want that. So I would tell any of you, do something. That's the best way I can say. I'd say to each and every person, do something. So that's just telling you about Save Your Home from Probate. That's a book that I wrote. It's right there on Amazon. In fact, every book that I held up is on Amazon. Everything I've held up. So I'm going to show you one more time before we run out of time. This is Oliver's favorite. Da-da-da-da. Right there on Amazon. Peyton the Pink Whale with the Yellow Tail. You also have you seen the Red Elephant? These are the books I've written. I'll show you. Okay. Then we have There's a Rocket in My Pocket. What's our timeline? Oh, we're down to 1 minute. And Saying No Nicely. Then you have, and there's gonna be a book sale. Book sale. There'll be a book signing in October. This is Justin's. This is Fayette's. This is Dr. Henry's, From the Ashes I Rise, and the journals. And we are out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how I've enjoyed you. I love you. I will see you next Monday. God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye, everybody.